Hi Capricorn, my name is Tiana and welcome to my channel Inspired by Ease. I have some cards already picked out for you for the month of April 2020. This is going to be a general reading for the entire month of April, but this can be applicable pretty much at any time. If this resonates 3 months from now or a year from now, that's great. Also keep in mind that you can swap around the characters. And I just want to briefly state my intention. My intention is just to help validate whatever you're experiencing and tuning in with you and your energy and giving you any advice that you may need and kind of giving you a heads up of maybe what's ahead. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Your energies that you will be dealing with in the month of April are divine, feminine, and change. And globally, we're all experiencing a lot of change. And so, of course, change has been a theme in some of the readings lately, for sure. But, this is personal to you. There's going to be a lot of personal, physical changes happening in your life. And I feel that even if you're a man, the divine feminine, which is basically just allowing, being more nurturing to yourself, being softer to yourself, becoming your own mother. If you had an unhealthy mother, it's really important growing up. It's really important that you learn to remother yourself in ways that are very nurturing. And if you have no point of reference for that, of what a divine mother looks or feels like, I just pray that there will be examples in TV shows, movies, maybe even figures throughout history that can kind of speak to you in a way of that a real mother would be, that a true mother would be. And you can start to get that point of reference and, definitely ask yourself, what would someone who loves themselves do? And so a lot of change is actually going to happen from you allowing and becoming more receptive, which is interesting because usually people associate change with more of the masculine energy, which is all about taking action and creating, those physical changes through their action. But actually the message here is that actually the more that you allow and become receptive, and I also feel that for some of you it will be learning how to, because relaxing and becoming more receptive and open requires you to feel safe, which not a lot of people have been experiencing lately. So it's really important for you to definitely, if you've been experiencing any kind of feelings of survival mode or hypervigilance or anything like that, is to do things to kind of step out of that and become more receptive and allowing and open, which is actually going to create a lot of change by you just relaxing into that safety, if that makes sense. And ideas and everything will start to pop up for you. Sorry, there's a huge glare there, but I'm hoping that these images can just be pulsing at you and affecting your whole aura and everything like that. The other interesting thing about these cards is that the numbers are reversed, 21 and 12, which add to 3, which is all about basically, I'm pretty sure 3 unlike things coming together and flowing. And just a moment, I have the guidebook here, and in the back it says that 3 is considered a catalytic number. It stands for an energy that speeds up or creates a reaction between two unrelated things without necessarily changing itself. So that definitely talks about change, and it talks about change that that basically putting unlike things together, and it's creating a catalytic moment of burst of change. And I'm getting, innovative, being very innovative, and being creative. This is definitely a time to be creative. So, okay, so I will just read these really quickly. The divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all creation. And Teal Swan recently did a video about COVID-19 and how it originated from this kind of narcissistic world that a lot of us are living in. And so by us coming more into the divine feminine, it's going to be impossible to not hurt others without hurting ourselves. And it's going to, I'm hoping that it's going to help all of us live more interdependently instead of independently, and all of that. So yeah, it's really important for you to connect with your body, connect with your heart, your emotions, and your mind, and to other people and the planet. So that's really beautiful. And then change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so we can appreciate the sweet release. Release is interesting. Sweet release reminds me of the divine feminine as well. I just think Marilyn Monroe. It's just always like, yeah, I don't know. Sweet release of the old and birth of the new. So this is really beautiful. And the birth of the new, the divine feminine, is all about, creating life and everything like that. So what is it that you're wanting to create is basically the question, and the answer will be relaxing into that. Not so much getting it done, how to do it, just focusing on the why, on the what and why, and allowing your imagination to go there, and allowing yourself to have that energetically, emotionally. And it's amazing what begins to manifest as soon as you release resistance. Resistance is the key word to what you want. There really isn't really things that you need to do unless you're inspired to do them. You just have to release resistance. So now on to the animal totems. You got 3. And I'm actually seeing this as a kind of storyline. If you will just stay with me here, Capricorn. So you got otter, tarantula, and golden egg. So I'm basically seeing that this otter, this picture or this art of this otter always strikes me very ominous, like as if someone's spying on them. Through some kind of like telescope or something, or binoculars. And this otter is very exposed and very vulnerable. There's a lot of green and blue, which just seems like there's a lot of raw emotion. Sorry, my camera cut out there. So as I was saying, it's like the otter, it's almost as if, like, it doesn't know that it's being watched, and it's just kind of la da 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 da, but it's still actually very vulnerable and exposed. So this is you, Capricorn. Now, on the way to where the otter is going, it seems like, it wants to get to this golden egg, which is the treasure, the gift. To me, it also represents wholeness and unity in oneself, being able to express your truest authenticity. But in the middle of you and this egg is this tarantula, is some kind of trap, just something that doesn't have the best intentions, or there's just some kind of blockade. But with spiders, webs, so I'm kind of looking at this. I'm kind of scared for the otter. If this was a movie, or like an animated movie, I would be very scared of the otter getting trapped in this spider's web. So yeah, it seems very like this otter is unknowingly walking into a very scary situation. And now I feel guided to kind of go back to the divine feminine energy, which is the overarching energy that you will be dealing with in April. And divine feminine energy is really good at paying attention to pain and being attuned and being aware of one's emotions. And so on one side, this otter is very innocent and very just unaware, just la da 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 da. But on another sense, it's not attuned and maybe avoiding. Could it be avoiding pain? Could you be avoiding something, Capricorn, where that avoidance is making you walk into some kind of trap or unhealthy situation when you think you are going to retrieve your golden egg? This is a very deep desire, and something that it usually has to do with the voice. I feel with the golden egg, it usually has to do about expression of your true authenticity. So yeah, we have this story going on of you, Capricorn. Yeah, I would just want to pose the question to you: what is it that you're avoiding? What kind of pain could you be avoiding or not seeing or not wanting to deal with or look at, when you might be putting yourself in a situation where you're being watched in a way that isn't good? I'm trying to think of an example, but yeah, this just feels like like a predator or a hunter spying on this little otter that doesn't have good intentions, when the otter just thinks it's going to get this wonderful gift. So that is a very interesting dynamic, and I'm going to see what the fairies have to say. That's I feel like there's more there that I need to pull from, but I'm also feeling like Capricorn, if this is resonating with you, you know exactly what this is about. We have the Oakman. So getting grounded in your emotions, getting kind of real with yourself, like staring into the depths of your soul, and perhaps facing some things. And there is this element of loneliness, of exposure, vulnerability, loneliness here. But with the Oakman, it's not alone. Once it's grounded, it has these very kindred companions and partners and family. So maybe like what you're afraid of I also just heard of like going into a situation blindly, out of fear or pain. And you know, I kind of want to mention the news and the media here. You know, a lot of people are kind of blindly listening to the news without doing the research themselves. So, you know, it could be that, but I feel like this is something more personal going on in your life. And so, you know, be careful what you blindly follow or go towards or fall into. We have the Jehovah card, and this basically is false evidence appearing real. Your fears are valid, but they're not real. The scary monster or whatever is just like a little teeny tiny mouse. So just I hope that you can take comfort in that whatever pain or fear that's coming up, it's not going to come true. So what else can we get? I did a reading. I wish I could remember the name, the zodiac that it was for. But basically it was all about homecoming, and it seems like the more that you can, this is slightly different, but the more that you can return back home and relax and kind of ground yourself and root yourself down, I think there is some kind of emotional bruising. There's a lot of kind of bombardment, emotional bombardment and stress perhaps around this otter, and it's just overstimulated with that. And I think you as an otter, you might be wanting to get out of that and kind of turn the other cheek. But what Spirit is saying is that you actually want to face that and root yourself down into that. And you're actually going to heal these fears or this pain or anything like that. And you're actually going to create, okay, so perhaps the story is that it seems like I'm getting a little thread. Some people believe that in order to get here, you have to jump through some pretty crazy hoops and do things that are not as ideal, and kind of settle or, you know, go about things the hard way. I'm just going to say that. Go things about the hard way, instead of keeping to your standards. It's interesting that I'm talking about standards here, but keeping to your standards and taking the high ground to get to your egg, you see? So the other thing that was kind of coming through was that these two cards came together side by side. So perhaps what you think is going to get you whatever the gift means to you, companionship, wholeness, integration, joy, happiness, expression of your truest self, whatever it is, this is not the way to go about it. Going within, rooting yourself down, going towards the eye of the storm, rooting yourself down, feeling all of this, and looking the huntsman right in the face, or whatever it is. Yeah, it's about, I hope that makes sense, because if you follow this path, for some of you it's going to be just taking the high road to get here, and some of you this is not the path. This is not what you think it is. This is essentially a trap. I'm kind of getting the Hansel and Gretel story again. You know, this spider is kind of manipulating you, basically bribing you with this, but this is what you're actually getting. So you have been warned, Capricorn. It is time to go within. The next card that you got is Talm on the Poet. So I from this card, I am feeling that it's time to really be still. And he is a poet, so perhaps writing and journaling is going to be very beneficial for you during this time. You know, sometimes this is about taking action and not sitting on your loins. For some of you, it might not be, but with all the energy and everything, I think it's actually about being still, being quiet, and contemplating, and really getting grounded and really getting rooted in yourself, and facing whatever kind of inner turmoil or the chaos that might be going on around you, and just find this place of stillness and peace. And again, writing, journaling, anything like that would probably be very, very helpful. I'm also feeling like there are some of you that really just need to be heard and listened to, so it might be beneficial for you to call a friend or speak to a family member, or see a therapist, someone that can really listen to you and validate your feelings, and really understand you, and give you that divine feminine love. So you're not only giving it to yourself, but you're allowing yourself to receive divine feminine love from others. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got, Capricorn. We have the Lady of the Harvest. So this is all about letting go of all that doesn't serve you, letting go of these burdens and these pains, responsibilities perhaps, drama, fear, any kind of like heaviness in your heart. It's time to let that crap go. Just like let it go, and so that the beautiful fresh fruits of your labor can really grow and blossom. Because, you know, with weeds and rotten fruit, the new can't flow in, you know. So it's time to let that go. It's just time to let it go, Capricorn. I always like to point to her face. I hope that she can kind of focus there. But yeah, I often say that she reminds me of Marilyn Monroe because of her face and her plump lower lip. It's like she doesn't care. She's just oozing feminine power and abundance and beauty, and is in that release mode, is in that an allowing mode. So yes, it's just time to let it go. And with that, we have the Dark Lady, which is about going into the depths of your soul and coming out the other side very free and liberated, and also more. There are gifts, there are spiritual gifts that light workers have, and then there are gifts that you receive after facing your shadows. And this represents those kinds of gifts. And it's kind of hard to describe what if you haven't done it, but there are, after you do it, you can see through illusion, you can see through lies and deception, you can see someone's true intentions, you can see what's at the core of someone, why they do what they do. These are all gifts. And so Spirit is wanting you to know that, once you do this work, you're going to be a lot better at deciphering these kinds of situations much faster, because it's just like you're so it just seems like this otter is just so bombarded with so much emotional wounding and pain of others around him, that it's hard to see this. Oftentimes when we feel we are unsafe and we're desperate, we just want, when we see something like this, we just want to believe that it's just this, and we go to it and maybe perhaps cling on to it, but because of our desperation, it can kind of, I'm not saying that you're naive, Capricorn, but I'm just saying that you can kind of end up putting yourself into situations where you really wanted it to be the best thing, but because you weren't in the best emotional place, your eyesight and intuition, everything was clouded, and you couldn't see this because you didn't want to. So I hope that makes sense. And so Spirit is wanting to kind of comfort you that because maybe you've had a pattern of getting yourself in kind of hairy situations or dangerous situations or toxic situations, that you, with the best intentions, just wanted it to be wonderful, and this wonderful new beginning, but it actually was your destruction and pain. Destruction is very hard, but it had the opposite healing effect. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it's not until you go inside and face all of this that this will stop happening. So I hope that makes sense. Everything that I say is said with the utmost amount of love and care for you. So I'm gonna see if there's anything else that the fairies have to say. And you are going to come out on top when you kind of do this tough work. It can feel like it's swallowing you whole and you'll never be happy again, but that is just temporary. So just remember that as you're going through this. We have the Himself card, which is my Taurus Sagittarius card. And I also feel like it could be Capricorn as well. So, you are going to become more in your power, stronger, smarter, wiser. You're going to be lit up, baby, in all of your chakras. And you're going to just be, a power to be reckoned with. Not that you already are a power to be reckoned with. I just feel that right now you are in a very vulnerable place right now. That's at least with a Capricorn that I'm connecting to, but that doesn't mean that you're not strong and you're not powerful, because you definitely are. And especially after you go through this healing work, you are definitely, like, nothing bad will pass through your gates, if that makes sense. You're going to be able to stare down anybody. And you're going to be able to see people's intentions for what they are. You're going to see people's true colors for what they are, and you're not going to get conned. That's what I'm getting. You're not ever going to be able to get conned again. not out of hatred or anger, but from this true spiritual sovereign place of overcoming your fear and your pain and healing yourself. Okay, so I'm going to just see about any last minute advice that Spirit has for you, Capricorn. So it's going to be really important for you to come more into safety and relaxation and attuning to yourself, attuning to your body, to your emotions, to your mind, and getting really present and healing what's at the core of this, so you can end this pattern. Okay, Capricorn, you received Unfinished Symphony, which means that there is some kind of lesson that you need to learn, some kind of unfinished business, unfinished story. There's just something that is unfinished in your life right now that you're needing to complete, and we have 10, which is all about completions. So hopefully you can take that in and you know exactly what that is. I feel that it's you needing to stop avoiding this pain, and kind of going into yeah, it's just like you, it's almost not, it's like, it's not just that the Capricorn that I'm connecting with, it almost isn't like you're avoiding it and suppressing it, yet you know it's there. It's almost like you've forgotten that it's there, and you're just trying to distract yourself with what's up here, but you need to turn around and face it. So I hope that makes sense. There might be a need to get some kind of closure with someone or something, or if you can't get that through another person, it's important for you to, do that for yourself. The completion process might be very, very helpful for you during this time. Next, we have TikTok. So, this is a time crunch time. It's really important for you to complete the cycle now. And there might be some kind of deadline in your life as well. So it's really important and really critical that you do this work and go inwards now and complete this, or there's going to be, bad repercussions. I hate to say stuff like that, but that's what Spirit is wanting me to say, and I say it with love. So once you complete this and get the closure that you need and feel complete, and get that golden egg, maybe through a different means than you would have originally thought, I feel as a reader that it's already there. You just need to go within and take away everything that's blocking it, which could be pain and hurt. But this could be an actual, to me it doesn't feel that way, but it could be an actual something that you need to do to complete. But once you do that, remember how I was saying that once you do that, you're going to receive these very profound spiritual gifts. Well, you got exchanging gifts. So I feel that all of this is part of your path and your purpose to complete within yourself, so you can go forward and teach other people how to do this work. So you might very well be in the process of becoming some kind of healer or teacher in some capacity. So, this was a very profound reading, Capricorn. Thank you so much for helping me shed light on your story. I hope that it was very validating for you, and helped you in some way, and gave you just a little bit of comfort inside, and gave you clarity on what your next steps are in the month of April. Like I say at the end of all my videos, know that you are never, ever, ever alone. You are so, so, so loved, and always be kind to yourself and be kind to others. I hope you are safe and doing well during these times. Take care, Capricorn. Big kiss. Mwah. Bye.